Hey everyone, it's Crystal from Army Wife 101. How's everybody? I know I haven't did a cooking video in quite some time. That's just because frankly I haven't felt like cooking. My husband came home and family was here and I was just busy with everything, and you know, I've kind of just been faking it till I make it as far as cooking goes. So, but today I'm kind of back on my grind, and I've gotten lots of emails lately asking me more about my cooking videos, but mainly about cooking recipes that the average military budget can, you know, and I don't like to judge and say there's a military budget, but we all know what everybody makes, so it's no big secret. So I went out and I had purchased this book called 1001 Inexpensive Recipes that are like basically recipes with 4 to 5 ingredients a piece. Everybody's heard of either the hamburger or french fry casserole or the tater tot casserole. There's variations on how you make it. It's a basic starter recipe, and then you can add. So today it's Sunday. I don't really feel like, you know, the big Sunday dinner, but I wanted something kind of wholesome and, you know, filling. And Sunday-y, that's not even a word. But, so I'm doing a tater tot casserole. So, for a tater tot casserole, you obviously need tater tots, which we forgot to set out beforehand, but we have them. You can buy off-brand, name brand, doesn't matter. I have some steamed vegetables. I'm sorry, mixed vegetables. Velveeta, cheddar cheese soup, which is kind of like, you know, cream of chicken, those type of soups. They're more used for cooking. You have your onions, and then we have all of our seasonings and your basic ground beef, about a pound. Now, I'm not a big ground beef eater, but I happen to have a pack in the freezer. My husband's home, and he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy. So, all I've done is I'm browning my ground beef with seasoning. I've cut up a whole onion, and I'm going to put that in here. The ground beef is almost, not quite, but almost done cooking, so now's the perfect time to put the onion in. Now, normally with this recipe, some people actually just layer the pan with the raw meat. I'm not doing that. I feel like that's too much to monitor as far as cooking, and you can't really see it because it's going to be covered by this mound of ingredients. So, I'd rather brown my meat first, plus it'll lessen the cooking time, in my opinion. I don't know if that makes any sense since I still have to brown the meat, but I won't have to keep worrying about it, you know. At least I know my meat will be cooked. And you're just going to stir that around, and of course chop up your meat. My meat was still not completely thawed out, so it's kind of chunky. I'm going to chop that up. And I've added some garlic powder. I'm going to add a little more. The main thing with this is, I got my starter recipe for this. This is Creole seasoning by Zatarain's. I use it on a lot of things. It's salty, so if you're going to use that, I wouldn't recommend using salt. This is onion powder. And then I've used my black pepper. And then right here, I use my Goya chopped garlic. But like I said, you brown your meat first. Season this up. A lot of people complained about in the recipe about it being kind of bland. The key is, people, you can't just put hunks of meat, vegetables, and some cream of chicken on something and expect it to taste like anything. I mean, if you're on a diet, then maybe that works. But you gotta season your meat. You gotta season it. Salt and pepper are not seasonings. Those are like necessities. But if you're really trying to eat and you're not worried about your weight or your blood pressure or anything like that, you need to season it. Garlic powder, onion powder, anything you want. But you gotta season your meat. So we'll be right back after our meat is browned, and I'll show you what to do next. Hey everyone, so I am back, and if you haven't paid attention or you don't know, I'm making tater tot casserole. So I browned my meat, and by the way, because I didn't mention this, and this is part of adding spice to your own recipe or to a recipe that only has simple ingredients and you want to give it some flair, I added some Lipton mushroom and onion soup mix. Comes in a blue box like that. And that just kind of gave my meat some flavor because, like I say, you don't want bland meat. So anyway, what I've done is I've got some mixed vegetables. You can use any brand. I happen to have this. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can either take and layer this, almost like you would do like a lasagna or something. You layer it, your meat, your vegetables, your cream of chicken, and then your tater tots. To me, I don't know. Flavor just doesn't seem like it's going to go well like that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bigger bowl for one. I'm going to drain my meat because my meat is done. Hope I don't burn myself doing this because you have a lot of grease. And like I said, you can use ground turkey for this. So I'm going to drain that. And don't worry, I'm not draining it into my sink. I have a pot under here that all the grease is going into. Lots of goodness, lots of onions and garlic and seasonings. Because, you know, the meat is going to be the best part. Alright, so we have that. I'm just going to give that a shake. There we go. Quickly bring that over here, and I'm going to dump that into this red bowl. Come stay on this side. Alrighty. So now I'm going to open up my mixed vegetables. I'm going to take that. And remember, you know, mixed vegetables are kind of bland. I mean, you can always add seasoning to them, but this is the easier way to do it. Add those in there. And some people might even compare this to shepherd's pie, but I don't recall shepherd's pie having tater tots in it. But it couldn't be. And I mean, this would probably be considered a winter meal, but I live in Hawaii, so nothing is ever considered a winter. Remember, those vegetables are kind of bland. Yes, the meat will give them a little flavor, but we still want to add just a little bit of salt. Okay, a little bit of pepper. I love these things by McCormick. They make me feel like I really have some real expensive seasonings. Okay, garlic powder. Nothing wrong with seasoning up your food. I'm not slathering it with salt, so they say garlic is good for you. Okay, notice I didn't put any of this in it, but I'll do a dab for camera effects. Alrighty, so we're gonna mix that all together. So like I said, I'm going to throw everything in here except the tater tots. This is my cheese. I've cut it up. Well, some of them I thought I did, but oh well. That'll just melt. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm back. So, technical problems. So, I'm simply going to just put about half a can of this cream of chicken in here. Just a little bit of that because you want to save some to go over the tater tots. People don't put it on top of the tater tots, but tater tots can cook really quick, you know. So, and then this is the cheddar cheese, which says great for cooking. And we're going to mix some of that in there. Okay, and then we're going to save some for on top. So as you can see, here's our mixture: our meat, our vegetables, our seasonings, our cream of chicken, our cheddar soup, our Velveeta, our onions. So I'm going to take and I'm just going to put it in here. Like I said, there's two different ways you could do this. I'm doing it the quick way. I mixed everything together. Plus, it makes for better flavor if you mix everything together. Don't put bland vegetables on top of meat. At least if you haven't seasoned something right. Now you have, you know, cream of soup and all that stuff will season it up for you. Now, some people might add more cheese over this. You can. I'm not. I got enough in there. I'll add some cheese over the tater tots when they're almost done cooking. Alright, so we're going to take that. As you can see, I've layered my pan. Okay? It's the meat mixed with the cheeses, mixed with the cream of chicken, mixed with the cheddar cheese soup. My meat has been seasoned. Okay, now I've used my off-brand Inland Valley tater tots, tater puffs, whatever they're called. That's what you use. Well, second to last is I'm going to give it a little sprinkle, a little salt because it's a little bland. You know, they're bland. I'm going to do a little pepper. And then, because the tater tots probably will cook a little bit faster than everything else. I mean, everything else is really cooked, but it'll still cook faster. It might brown quicker. So to give it some kind of like moisture, because you don't want to put aluminum foil over it because then it'll get kind of steamy and it'll be kind of mushy and you want that crunch. I'm just going to take in various spots and pour a little bit of this cheddar soup on top. Okay, so there you go. So I'm going to put this in the oven at, I think my husband set the oven at 425. Cook it for about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to show you how it looks when I come back. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm back. So it's done. So let's take it out. And I'm going to scoop some of this out on my plate. You can probably let it sit because that'll make the cheese settle a little bit. But I'm just going to try a teeny, well, no line, a nice sized portion. Ooh, it smells good. That's good. That's good. And it's simple. And just to show you what's inside, I've got some, don't touch that, Sister Trooper rolls.